lot of video games, and I'm not good at any of them. But you know, I at least feel that I have the potential to be good at least one of them, so I could speedrun it, which has always been a dream of mine. But the question is, which one? I don't know, maybe this one. Alright, rollercoaster pace. I'm so close. Just one more hole! I did it. I did it! And maybe for a crappy golf game on the Sega 32X, but I did it! I'm a world record holder! Woo! Take that, Tiger Woods! Recently, within the past few years, there's been one thing that has really caught my eye, caught my attention, caught my grabby hands. And that one thing is speedrunning. Speedrunning is an incarnation as how to play video games. It's had more and more of a kind of cult following dedicated to breaking down games and getting the absolute fastest time possible. Any kind of game can be ran, with obscure titles like ZZT and Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel being ran, alongside staples like Super Metroid and Ocarina of Time. Speedrunning is showcased at events like Awesome Games Done Quick and European Speedster Assembly, when an assortment of runners play the games they're really good at for an entire week to raise money for charity. It's all really cool, and there's some seriously amazing runs that you guys should check out. Especially those Super Metroid runs, because they're so freaking high! So now that you have a general idea as to what speedrunning is, let's get right down to it. There's no real rules for this list, as I'm just picking games that I feel have potential to be speedran, whether it's individually or at a speedrunning event. So let's do it, and let's do it fast. There were a plethora of games released on the Nintendo Entertainment System during its lifetime, and one of the many that I think flew under the radar was the Hudson Soft classic, The Adventures of Dino Riki. This game is a weird platformer shoot-'em-up hybrid, which is a very strange mashup of genres. They feel like trying to smush Miley Cyrus and Brokencyde together. It's just doomed for disaster. I came in like a rescue ball. Be forewarned though, the game may look cute and adorable, but it's actually incredibly deceptive in nature. It's a simple game, but it's very difficult to master as there are waves upon waves of enemies wanting you and all of your powered up abilities to die. There are also some tricky platforming sections that require the utmost care to traverse, as one slip up results in instant death. I think this makes a great case for it to be speedran, as learning all of the enemies' patterns is crucial in understanding and playing the game. Don't get me wrong, speedrunners are used to memorizing patterns and how levels and enemies play out in the first place, but I think this game may just be a little bit different. Considering it's a shmup, learning the patterns and not getting hit are essential, as you want to keep your power-ups to maintain the best advantage throughout the game. By throwing a fire on anything and everything. At least, well, that's what it looks like. The only thing that I could see that will hold it back from being ran is that it's a shmup, so you can't really control the speed as to how the game scrolls along, which is why it's taking the opening spot on this list. So if you're a runner and if you're looking for your own kind of standout game to play, check this one out, or Dino Riki will find you. And it'll puke fire on you. The next game I'd love to see being run more would have to be Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. This is one of my favorite Metal Gear Solid games. This is actually the first one I ever played. I remember first playing it on a demo disc that came with Zone of the Enders. Do you guys remember when demos for games came packaged with other games? No? Well, then you're all just way too young. I'm cool, yes, I'm cool. Only 90s kids will remember. I'm cool. How I first played this game aside, it is absolutely ideal for speedrunning, especially if it were to be played on a higher difficulty. That's adding to the challenge. I know that I'd love to see someone play this game on European Extreme and not get spotted by a single guard. That alone would blow my mind. The only thing really holding this game back from being higher on the list is that there's already been some really solid times made by some fantastic runners, and the game was actually run at AGDQ a few years ago in 2011, but it wasn't exactly the best run to watch because...
quiet, man. Don't you doubt this.
I would really prefer if you would be quiet.
Besides that though, I'd love to see if there's been any kind of discoveries or additions to the best known routes that could help lower the time so it can maybe be shown at a future GDQ. Now overall, I know this game didn't let us play Snake for the entirety of it, which may have been disappointing for some people and may have ultimately led to some contention amongst Metal Gear Solid fans when it was first released, but it's still a fantastic game in general, especially if you're looking for some of that Raiden taint. Jazzpunk is a one-of-a-kind game. Its visual style, sense of humor, and story are all crafted very well, which makes for a very immersive, lighthearted experience that's sure to bring several laughs your way from how off the wall it can be. It's a great game, and not only would I urge you to buy it and play it, support indie developers, but I also think it'd make for a great game to be ran. It's a rather short game, which definitely adds to the speedrunning element, as shorter games tend to be ran more so than longer games. Unless you run Final Fantasy. I never really discovered any glitches during my playthrough, but I would absolutely love to see if there'd be some way to glitch through one of the levels, or as a way to bypass a certain scripted element of the game, which would just add to the hilarity of it as a whole. All in all, I think Jazzpunk could be optimized pretty well for a run, and it already seems that way, as the current world record for any percent is just under 16 minutes, and also with a 100% run be finished in half an hour. For a game that normally takes about 2 hours to casually play through, that's quite the accomplishment. So give this one a go if you need something to run. Unless you want to get smacked upside the head with a steel chair inside a virtual reality machine! One of the many TV shows I watched as a kid was Tiny Toons Adventures, and just like anything that an impressionable young child like me watched, there just had to be some merchandise that accompanied it. Tiny Toons Adventures Bust or Bust Loose is actually a pretty good game that seems to really capture the antics made by the little Toons. I think it definitely helps that this game was also made by Konami, so there is a lot of respect whilst handling the IP. Cause Konami ain't one of those companies that'll treat your IP like a bunch of poopy trading cards some kid is trying to shill on you in hopes of getting your shiny left leg of Exodia! Why did I make that deal? Anyways, the game actually seems like it was made to be played with speed in mind, as Buster is a sprint that you can perform that can last for a couple of seconds. You can pull off some pretty impressive looking jumps and speed past enemies at the wink of an eye. This game always seemed kind of underrated to me. Maybe it got overshadowed by other platforming games of its time, considering how so many great platformers there were on the system. And it probably doesn't help that this game was developed in the middle of the Super Nintendo's lifespan, where other platforming giants of the console had already come out. It also probably doesn't help that since it was a licensed game, people were sketchy as to how good it would be, especially considering how most licensed games were already terrible. I suppose I couldn't blame people for not buying it, but Konami really came through and stuck to their guns to deliver a game that's not only well crafted, but also very speedrun worthy, and to me, that's all that matters. Now, if you'll excuse me, the only thing that's left to do is to go beat up on all the annoying characters from the show. Yes, it's me and you now, Dizzy. There's nowhere to run. Except for all the things on the side. So I was about you eat a hamburger, and then some ice cream, and then another hamburger. Yeah, I bet you don't feel very good after that. Wait, no. He's dead.
Diabetes.
I hope your guys' butts are clenched, because things are about to get so goddamn fast. You think Sonic the Hedgehog is just taking drugs and changed into Supersonic on a bad acid trip. Because here we are with my #1 pick, which is... I guess I'm getting a phone call. Just hold on, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Hey.
Yo, Longarms, what's up?
Oh, hey, Djali. You know, I was just doing this, and then I was just gonna get caught.
Yo, that's cool. How about some hype game? Oh, I so hope they run Tropical Freeze. Let me tell you, that game, AGDQ perfect. I mean, the game itself is pretty much built with time trials and speedrunning in mind. It even lets you view world record run times for levels within the game itself. The different characters, techniques, and level design allow for some of the most swagtastic platforming ever.
Hey, Djali?
Or maybe glitches are more your thing, in which case I really hope they run Pokemon Red and Blue. Fun fact, you can actually hack that game within the game by turning your item inventory into a hex editor, and then, this happens. Or if you really want to see a game be broken, try Majora's Mask. Water Temple too hard? Well, skip it. You can actually skip through a lot of this game by backflipping off the tops of your explosions. Somehow.
Djali.
Or maybe they could even run through Dark Souls 2. A lot of people online seem to think that this one is quite hard. So how great would it be to see this thing get beaten like an hour and a half? And even better yet, they run through this entire game naked. I hope they pick a girl character.
Okay, Djali, literally, all of these games have been run already.
What?
Yeah, bro, they were all run at AGDQ this year. You can go watch them all, like, right now. I didn't think he'd take me literally on that. Well, now that Djali's gone, it's time for my #1 pick. I hope that it's worthy. Last year, there were so many games that came out. Among the Destinies and the Smash Bros that were released, there existed a game that seems so far up speedrunning's alley that it makes every other game on this list seem like a slug in comparison. So what incredibly fast game am I talking about? Cloudbuilt. It's like this game was destined to be a speedrunner's dream. Tricky platforming, intense speed boosts, glitches, and more glitches. This game is designed for the speedrunner in mind. How this game hasn't been run at a GDQ yet is beyond me. Maybe it's still just a little bit under the radar, or maybe there just hasn't been a route developed for it to help optimize the run. But regardless, I would absolutely love to see someone destroy this game in a short amount of time. Considering some of the runs on YouTube that have been uploaded, I could definitely imagine someone beating this game in about half an hour, which for this game would be a testament to how impressive and skillful speedrunning really is. The only thing that I could think of that would stop this game from being ran would be as to how challenging and intense it is, with the whole game never seeming to slow down in pace, and it just increasingly becomes more and more difficult. I could definitely see how daunting running this game would be, as any kind of slip up or mistake would cost all kinds of time. And after watching some of the gameplay, it appears there would be more than enough opportunities where the game could definitely screw up the run. But regardless, it still looks like it would be a really cool game to run, hence why it's #1 on my list, and one that I think would mix really well at a speedrunning event. Because sometimes, you just gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Oh. Wait, I forgot that if you say that, then you'll start going fast! Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching. It really means the world to me. If you want to get my videos on your fancy schmancy sub box, please be sure to consider subscribing if you like the video. And if you want to see what shenanigans I'm up to, you can always follow me on Twitter. But you know, why should Djali and I be the only ones who get to say anything about what will make a good game to speedrun? Say what you think about it down in the comments section below. I'd love to hear what you all think. Real fast shoutouts to my friends and Connor Klein for the Miley Cyrus / Brokencyde mashup, and for DjaliGoat for agreeing to be a part of this list and making it 10 times better than it probably was. They're both awesome and I love them, and you can check out their latest videos right here. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good one.